Then we head into Phase 2 of Survivor Marquesas with your friend, the neighborhood nerd king, Mac Taylor. So we start off, the 4 people have gone. Now Sean, basically at this point, has given up. He's like, I'm fucked. If Rotu loses, I'm probably going to be the one that goes. Whereas Boston Rob is like, if there's a way out of this, I think I'm going to try to find it. Because I think Boston Rob is way more of a resourceful player than Sean. But Sean is great television with his remarks. Like, Sean's a good narrator and comedic character, whereas Rob is a very strategic. And Gabriel, he's like, I'm so mad that my society has been tainted by Sean and Boston Rob. And John is like, I'm starting to worry about Gabriel. Probably not gonna, be a part of this alliance I want to make or whatever. So maybe I should consider voting Gabriel out of the game, which is like, whoa. Because as I'm watching this, I'm like, Gabriel is set. Like, he's gonna go far. And now John Caroll is like, might not want to take Gabriel much deeper into this game. I'm like, oh wow, taking out Gabriel, that'd be a huge move. Maramu, they're boiling crab. They're having fun. Sarah's gone. Kathy, Pascal, Nalia, and Gina just having a grand old time. And they have this reward. You have to, reassemble these totems. And, Gabriel kind of fumbles this one because he can't. And Maramu ends up winning. And, the reward is a camp raid. So now, and this is a little unfair, Maramu gets to go to Rotu's camp and just take whatever the fuck they want minus personal items. So, it's brutal what all they take. Like, Pascal says, we took everything but the kitchen sink. Or no, we took everything, including the kitchen sink. So it's, they really do raid the shit out of them. Gabriel, it does this, little rap thing. But, John Caroll, the great John Caroll, in my opinion, approaches Gabriel with this idea of, hey, me, the General, Tammy, Zelby, we're going to work together. We want you to be with us. A solid 5. And Gabriel's like, hey, I'm not here to play the game. So John's like, are you going to go against me? And he's like, hey, look, I'm here to build a society. I'm just here to, see if people can come together. I don't care about playing the game. Which, Gabriel, I don't know if you are aware of this, but that is the fucking point of Survivor. So you're going to need to vote people out and strategize if you want to win. Gabriel just thinks it's going to come down to just the Rotu people and they're just going to society it up. No, that's not what we're watching here. And John's like, that's a bad answer. I don't want Gabriel here. So, John gets the Rotu 4 to kind of turn on Gabriel here. And they have, the SOS challenge, which is it's on just a lot of seasons of Survivor. And, you basically have to make something to be seen from the sky. And, they'll not decide. But they actually have it for, it's usually a reward challenge, but this is actually for immunity. And during this, John approaches Sean and Rob, saying, hey, we're thinking about voting Gabriel out. You down for that? They're like, oh, wow, yeah. As long as it's not us, that's great. Maramu wins immunity. And Boston Rob takes this opportunity to go to Gabriel. And hey, John brought up your name about voting you out. So would you vote with me, Sean, and V to vote against John? And then, we'll tie it up. Gabriel's like, no, hey, I'm not here to play the game. I'm here to build a society, blah, 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 blah. And Rob's like, well, okay. So 7-1, Gabriel, coming in 12th place here. And again, I think Gabriel in a lot of seasons goes a lot farther because he's so blindly loyal. But not a great Survivor player because he's not. He said it like 7 times. He's not playing the game. Even Sarah was playing the game. He wasn't playing the game. So final thoughts on Gabriel is I think he needs to watch a few more seasons of Survivor before he comes back. So if he ever came back, because he needs to learn how to play it. I don't think he played it this time. Meanwhile, the General and John, they're like, hey, me and you in the 4 or 2. So we got a 4, we got a 6, we got a 4, and we got a 2. We got a 6. Well, actually, we got a 7. We got a 4, and we got a 2. Like, they got crazy with the numbers in this season. And John, he's feeling so powerful. So he's like doing this like jump off this waterfall thing where, he's taking control of the game. He's gotten rid of Gabriel, and him and the Rotu 4 are just going to exterminate everybody once they get to the merge. And Rob and Sean really don't want the Rotu 4 to be in power. Then they had this relay race for a food reward. Rotu wins. But the General didn't have the boat tied all the way up or something, and wasn't like... So due to a technicality, it's reversed. So Maramu will end up with this reward. And that's not good on the road to pride there. And Pascal is missing Gabe. He's like, I can't believe they voted out Gabe. He was such a stand-up man. He was like a son to me. I miss this Gabriel. Apparently the society thing rubbed off on Pascal because he is a Gabriel Cade fan. And Boston Rob confronts Tammy about the alliance and everything, and John Caroll and Boston Rob make a deal like, hey, we get to the merge, the 7 of us will take out them, and then we'll pick off V and Sean, and it'll be final 5, and we'll roll from there. And John also, he wants to throw the challenge because he wants to vote out, I believe, Rob. And it's a maze ladder kind of immunity challenge, and Boston Rob, dominating this challenge, does not want to lose, fears that he will be targeted because of all the stuff that happened at camp. So Rotu wins immunity. And back at Maramu, Kathy and Gina argue over throwing sand in the fire. Which, Kathy, I don't know if you know this, but sand does make fire go out. However, if I'm Gina, I'm probably not pressing too many issues, knowing that I'm probably the odd one out of the vote anyway, and I need to do something. Kathy's probably my way to making at least a tie. It's not the greatest idea to upset Kathy, the person you kind of need to vote with you. And there's talks that, maybe Kathy, like Gina tells Pascal and Aaliyah, hey, I'll vote out Kathy. However, 3-1, Gina goes out. And again, I think Gina played a good game. And I was kind of bummed that she never came back, because I think she would benefit from a second chance because, 1, no one probably remembers her at all. And 2, I think she's a person who socially is very, very strong in the game. Maybe not strategic, but again, this is season 4. Strategy isn't a huge part of it yet. It does, later it's everything. But now, people are still figuring out a formula to be a good Survivor player. So Gina, she's going to go reunite with Hunter and Gabriel on this great pre-merge cruise, or pre-jury cruise. And as Pascal says, the family's down to 3. We are the 3 of us together. Meanwhile, Vesepia really fitting into the Rotu group, and Boston Rob very upset by this. He's like, she's such a flip-flopper and a kiss ass, and that's making us look bad. How dare she play the game? And they have to send, because they're about to merge. So they need to send ambassadors. So Rotu sends Boston Rob. Maramu sends Kathy. And they have pizza and beer. And Boston Rob tells Kathy about John Caroll's Rotu 4 group and about how Kathy is probably the target at the merge. And that, he, V, and Sean would rather work with Kathy, Pascal, and Aaliyah to take out the Rotu 4. And Kathy, she's like, wow, they really said that about me? I was so happy to get the tribe back together. And Rob's like, no. And he's throwing some lies in there, but, he's playing hard with this. So Kathy and Rob kind of make like this agreement that they may work together. So Maramu is moving over to Rotu. And, Kathy, this wasn't the reunion she wanted. The love tribe is kind of over. And things are going to get awkward. And they are the Soliantu tribe. And Kathy, she's rallying the troops. She's like, oh my God, they were going to vote us out. We need to flip. And Pascal's like, hey now, we were all Rotu. We need to stick together, vote out people like Boss and Rob who are making trouble. I'm not turning against John. And Tammy, she's wheeling and dealing. And Rob is, confronting Tammy and Zoe about things in front of Kathy. About, like, why are you lying, Zoe? Like, I thought you said you were in an alliance. And where's your alliance? And things are not looking good for Boss and Rob. Like, I think he is playing very hard, very fast here. And I understand, and maybe it was a good idea for him to maybe vote out Kathy or somebody. Maybe he should have wrote out this Rotu alliance for a little bit. But he's playing hard into the let's flip on John when Pascal and Aaliyah are probably the hardest people in the world to sell something to like this. So we get the endurance immunity. So Aaliyah's out first, then the General, then Pascal, then Vesepia, then Sean, then Zoe, then Boston Rob. Comes down to Tammy, John, and Kathy. Kathy wins immunity. She really needed it because it was really up in the air whether or not she was going to be targeted. And Rob confronts, John about like, did you not want to vote Kathy out? And John, very calm, very collected, really just flips it right back on Rob, puts the target on Rob, and he's like, do I have stupid written on my forehead? He's like, do I have stupid written on my forehead? And basically gets Rob to like, yeah, I was lying, blah, blah, blah. And this was, kind of the mistake of Rob Mariano version 1 of that. Well, 1, he was in a bad situation. And 2, he was all over the place. I think later he kind of narrows down his strategy and gets it to work because he really learns from his mistakes here in the Marquesas. So by a vote of 6-2, Boston Rob voted out. He talked about he couldn't get over the mountain, couldn't get under the mountain. He's going to drill right through it. And I think that phrase does come into play throughout the rest of the game. Rob does have an impact, but he was not there to reap the benefits of the work that he has done here before he was voted out. So the jury starts now. Rob is the last pre-juror. Sean is being very gassy at campus. That's the kind of a light moment. And they have a kite flying reward, which also, like, you get a Snickers bar and you get to go on this like this diving expedition thing. And Kathy ends up winning the reward. and shares her Snickers bar. Like, that was really, like, they have one king-size Snickers bar. I think it was really just to send a little, like, hey, we got some money from Snickers, but not a lot, so we're just going to have one Snickers bar. And Kathy and Sean, they really do want to flip on John. Like, they really feel like that they're going to get screwed. But Pascal and Nalia are like, no, it's wrong. We need to stick with the Rotu. We're going to vote out Sean of Vesepia. You know, we agreed to stay together with our original tribe. And then we get to the infamous chopping challenge, where you basically have to, like, people get like 3 cuts of the rope, and you have to, go up, and if you answer questions correctly, you get to, like, chop one of their ropes, So basically, you this challenge, and they play this like almost every season, it becomes about like really exposing alliances, because people, especially here, do not realize what they are doing. So the order of elimination, which is the key part of this: Sean, Vesepia, Kathy, John, because he only had a couple ropes left, Pascal, Zoe, Nalia, Cap, and Tammy wins immunity. Sean points out, he said, hey, look, me, V, Kathy, Pascal, Nalia. That's an order. They eliminated us in the order they want to vote us out. And they're, the whole time the Rotu 4 are laughing, like, blah, whatever, this is a game. And Pascal and Nalia finally see it. They're like, yeah, you're right. You're right, Sean. You're right, Kathy. How dare they do this to us? And now we're up in arms, and things could happen, and then boom, we go to tribal 5-4. John Caroll, first member of the jury. The Rotu 4 are shocked. Sean, V, Kathy, and Pascal and Aaliyah, they're like, yes, we did it. And this, up to this point, and really for a while, is like the best blindside. Like, this is a juicy blindside, man. Like, it is, like, I love John. I think John played a great game. But he got too cocky and paid the piper for it. And watching his downfall was great television. But again, really sad that John Caroll never played again. Like, above anyone this season. Like, John Caroll should have played again. Because, I think he does a lot better on a second try. And, that's phase 2. We had, Gabriel, Gina, Boston Rob, and John Caroll. But, we'll see Boston Rob again on All-Stars. And Boston Rob, again, like I said, his game the first time is a little sloppy. He made some mistakes. And, on his second try, I think he does right those wrongs. So that was phase 2. Join me next time for phase 3. We're going to go from 8-4. Getting close to the final chapter here in the Marquesas. Again, I'm your friendly neighborhood nerd king, Mac Taylor. Thank you guys, and good night.